In the past, I've been skeptical about long-term mega deals in baseball, especially when it comes to the Angels. Albert Pujols and Josh Hamilton come to mind. They didn't work out. But I have a feeling that the deal on Tuesday that went down with Mike Trout is going to be a little bit different. So out of nowhere, you get a 12-year, $420 million contract, an extension to stay with the Angels, basically a $100 million more than Bryce Harper. I'm sure that Bryce Harper didn't know it at the time, but he was probably hurting his chances of getting Mike Trout by publicly proclaiming his love for Mike Trout. Because if you're Artie Moreno, the owner of the Angels, and you're probably going to go, I'm going to put an end to this right now. I want you to be in an Angels uniform the rest of your career, and what's it going to take? And we saw 12 years, $420 million. I'll tell you who I'd love to be right now, today, Mookie Betts. Because I'm going to guess Mookie turned down a deal for $200 million. Might have been an 8-year, $200 million, and he's like, nope. And we're going to see just how expensive that's going to get because it's going to start with a 3 with Mookie Betts. And also Aaron Judge with the Yankees. They have to be thrilled with what Mike Trout signed for. The team didn't have to do it now. He wasn't set to be a free agent until after the 2020 season. But, Bryce Harper had already started recruiting Trout back to Philly, and it would have gotten wild if things had gotten to the open market. But, the beauty of what Trout did, we don't have time to really talk about where he could go and how much he's worth and if he fits in and does he want to be a winner and all of those things that would have happened if he would have been on the open market, which is what we do with Bryce Harper. Oh, he could end up with the Dodgers. Oh, shorter deal. Is he worth it? Is he ready for that? What about the Yankees? Oh, he always wanted to be a Yankee. Phillies? Does he really want to play in Philadelphia? Did they give him an offer he couldn't refuse? We did this. But with Mike Trout, we didn't have the time. It's over. Now, we can dissect it after the fact, but nothing's changing. He's only 27. He's the best player in baseball, and those long-term contracts do make me nervous. But this one might turn out to be a win-win for both if the Angels surround him with some talent, too. You're going to make your money from your local TV deal. I understand that. Nationally, the Angels, Shohei Ohtani is more must-see TV than Mike Trout. All right? You may not want to hear that. Baseball may not want to hear that, but he is. There's more of a curiosity with Shohei Ohtani than there is Mike Trout. I know what I'm getting with Mike Trout. And in a different generation, he would be must-see TV. But baseball is different on a national platform. He's never going to put up numbers where individually, an individual season where you go, he's approaching 70 homers. He's just not going to have bad numbers. He's not going to have those dips. Bryce Harper giveth and taketh away. I don't want to pay that kind of money for that amount of time for a guy who's inconsistent. He may put together 2 or 3 great years. Trout does that every single year. And he's on pace. I saw these numbers. Now, keep this in mind. There's an asterisk that goes along with this, which I'll explain. Mike Trout is ahead of the all-time leaders' pace at this point in their careers in home runs, hits, runs scored, and walks. So home runs, Bonds had a 142 at this age. And keep in mind, Barry didn't get pumped up until later in his career. He wasn't a home run hitter. He was an unbelievable five-tool player with Pittsburgh. Then all of a sudden he decided, everybody wants to see home runs? Oh, okay, I'll show you home runs. That's when he had this incredible second-half surge of his career. Hits-wise, Pete Rose, Pete's a couple of hundred behind Mike Trout at this stage of their careers. Runs scored. This is interesting with Trout and Ricky Henderson. And, you got Trout ahead of him by about 60 runs at the same age. And then walks, once again, Bonds is the all-time leader. But at this point in his career, Bonds wasn't being intentionally walked like he was later in his career. So Bonds is the outlier with this, with home runs and walks, because Bonds was a completely different player the second half of his season. He saw where the money was, and he bulked up in a variety of ways and became the all-time home run leader and in career walks. But Mike Trout, those are impressive numbers. And you can pencil him in as a top 5 MVP candidate, it feels like. But the Angels, who have a good farm system, not a great farm system, have to surround him with talent. Is Ohtani going to be there for the long haul? You get Albert Pujols' contract off the books in a couple of years, but what are you bringing in? Who are you bringing in? Who wants to play with Mike Trout? How important is it for everybody involved here? Now, I know the Angels want to win again, but I don't look at Mike Trout and say he didn't want to be a winner or doesn't want to be a winner or that's not important. I'm assuming he went to management ownership and said, okay, I'm going to take care of my portion of this. What are you doing on your end? Because this doesn't end with Trout making $420 million. It's, we're paying you this. He might turn out to be a bargain, and Bryce Harper might turn out to be a bargain. But we want to know, what are you putting around me? I see what Philadelphia has already, and what are they going to continue to do? Because I still think when the Angels signed Albert Pujols, the Cardinals got his 10 best years and got a bargain for Albert Pujols. The Angels had to overpay to bring him in. They thought there would be some back-end award ceremonies where he would be breaking records. But if you weren't going to win a World Series in the first 5 years, then I thought that this was a bad contract. Well, it's a bad contract. And you got him for a couple more years there. But, you know, Mike Trout, and now who's next? Mookie Betts, Aaron Judge, Lindor. There's going to be a couple of guys. You know, the price of poker just went up considerably here.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.